is that how you do it? Yeah, you got to jump up. You got to get a little air on your ground. Now, they asked me for a top 5 list. Now, first I was like, they got to be asking me for a top 5 dentists, oral surgeons in the area because Stephen A., I don't know where he's been. How long does it take to get your jaw and everything reconfigured to come back in and do your own Stephen A's list? But nonetheless, I'm here, and I'm here to give you a better list than you've ever seen. And of course, you know I got to look good while I'm doing it. So let's get this thing started. Let's start at number 5. We're talking about power ranking these teams and who the best in the NFL is. I'm going with the LA Rams. Now listen. Don't be a prisoner of the moment. Just because they lost last night, don't go punch your favorite team and say they don't have a chance in the playoffs once it starts. They have Matthew Stafford. They have Sean McVay, one of the best coaches in the NFL. Hey, mind you, last night, no Devontae Adams, missing 2 linemen up front. Quentin Lake, DB, should be back soon. Have some belief in these LA Rams that they can go on a run and still do some things. That's my number 5 team. It only gets better from here. All right, let's move on to number 4. I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers. Have you seen Brock Purdy since he has returned? Yes, I know he threw a few interceptions against the Panthers. That was a little while ago. Have you watched him these last 2 times on primetime? In the last 3 weeks, 13 total touchdowns. Had me singing, I'm a believer in Brock Purdy right now because he is doing the damn thing. And it doesn't matter if George Kittle is out there or not. Doesn't matter if Trent Williams is out there or not. Brock Purdy is finding a way to win games. Now, I know they're allergic to defense. They don't do that over there in San Francisco. Too many guys are injured, but they're finding a way to win games. I'm going to go like Mad Dog and go all up in the camera to convince you that the 49ers are one of the best 5 teams in the NFL. So for my number 3 team, a lot of people, they don't think they know about this team. We're going to Duval. Liam Cohen, the first-year head coach, already has locked up the division, possibly after this week. You just have to win against the Tennessee Titans. And Trevor Lawrence has been unbelievable this season. The last 6 games, 19 total touchdowns, first in the NFL. Darren Orlovsky, thanks for that tweet. Saw you say that. Trevor Lawrence is going to lead this team, and they have a scrappy defense that comes away with turnovers and wins games. For my number 2 teams, you guys know it gotta have the New England Patriots on it. Drake May. He is going to be the MVP of this season, so you know his team has to be in the top 5. Now, don't give me that bull crap about we don't know because their strength of schedule, they haven't played anyone. When they put bad teams on your schedule and you keep blowing them out, then have some belief in the team. They're going to get healthier on the defensive side of the ball, but with Drake May and his superstar TikTok wife baking you some goods, they are a really good football team. For my number 1 team, I'm going out to the West. The Seattle Seahawks. That's who I'm rolling with. When you have one of the best defenses in the NFL, the best one, you get to be the number 1 ranked team. Sam Darnold, it's time to become the boogeyman. Put the ghost behind you. Saturday night, you have a chance. Prime time, win that game, and you're going to have everybody saying you're the guy. That is my top 5. Tell me how good it was.
Is this the top 5 NFC West list or the top 5 teams in the NFL?
I can't help who's playing good.
Denver Broncos are 13-3.
No Texans, no Broncos, no Bears.
How many games you got to lose to the NFC South to fall off this list, Rams? Like, that's what I want to know. Like, how if they lost to the Saints as well as the Falcons and Panthers, would that have done it?
It's a very rare occasion when the number 1 should be on the list at all. And the Texans haven't lost pretty much since Halloween.
That's what I'm saying.
Texans haven't lost since Halloween.
They should be up there somewhere. And again, I just can't. I love the Rams too. I think they have a really big shot. You just lost to the Falcons.
I'll tell you what, I was ready to come and argue Jaguars, and I was so excited to see you put them 3. I think they're doing
So I did something good. That's the only good thing on the list.
The Broncos have been like the best team all year.
And the Bears were 1 play away from beating this team on the road, and they had the flu running through their locker room.
2 and 3 make the almost list down here.
I just feel like we could have.
For my top 10.
Okay, if we could rearrange the list, what would we do here? What would we do? We would add the Broncos where? Where would you put the Broncos? Graz?
Maybe 1.
Maybe 1. Would we drop the Seahawks to 5?
I don't know. I like the Seahawks.
4. 1?
Not 1. I would put the Broncos 1.
These up.
I put Broncos, Seahawks, Patriots,
Jaguars.
Texans got to be on the list.
Texans have to be on the list.
Go Bears.
Bears, Texans. We'll knock the Rams and the Seahawks down. You're almost.
I like the list the way it is.
The list is okay, and the list around here is fluid. Okay, it's all right. It's all right.
Check back next week.
We'll check back next week. It's not bad though. It's not bad. All right, one game for the
to decide the 1 seed in the conference. Graz, what do you think is the X factor in this game?
Can the 49ers keep Brock Purdy protected if they don't have Trent Williams, the left tackle, pulled his hamstring in Sunday night's game. Short week, 37-year-old player. Probably difficult for him to make it back for this game. Can the protection hold up and give Purdy the time he needs when they're facing that fearsome Seattle rush?
San Francisco's offense, Nick, has been as hot as can possibly be, and I think there are a lot of people who will take the Sam Darnold part of this conversation back to last year. He was in basically this exact same position. Right. Win, and you're the 1 seed in the last game of the year. Last year it was the Sunday night, but either way, and we all remember that didn't go well for him at all. What is your sense of this game, Nick?
Well, he was going up against a much tougher defense. Well, not much tougher, but a tougher defense last year. I think Sam Darnold, in this situation, he needs to play well. That Seahawks defense has been incredible. The 49ers offense seems unstoppable, but they will be slowed by the Seahawks some. Sam Darnold needs to be able to put up enough points against this 49ers defense that's been decimated by injuries. Otherwise, it's really concerning for them headed into the playoffs. Not only do they lose out on their bye, I think they're feeling really bad about themselves if they can't put up points after what we saw most teams, and the Bears, particularly last week in a primetime game, do against that 49ers defense.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Darnold and offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak. They have to be able to come up with a plan to attack this 49ers defense. To what Neek said, what we've seen from Sam Darnold from the last few weeks is him coming through in the fourth quarter. I think that means a lot. His play hasn't always been great throughout this stretch of games, but the second half of the Falcons game that we saw against the Colts, him coming together for a drive to help win that game. And then the Rams game, once the punt return happened, we saw some crucial throws from Sam Darnold. That gives me more confidence and more belief in him as the quarterback with the fourth quarter throws that he's been able to make.
For the 49ers, I like this little reminder. If they win their next 4 games, they would win the Super Bowl. All 4 of those games, including the Super Bowl, are in their home stadium. This game Saturday night will determine them getting home field advantage, and then, of course, Super Bowl 60 will be right there in Santa Clara. And then finally, we get to the Sunday night game, the last regular season game of this year between the Ravens and the Steelers in Pittsburgh. Winner is in, loser is out. Dominique, what's the most important factor in that game?
Can the Steelers stop the run? More specifically, can they stop Derrick Henry? I think this Steelers offense hasn't been very explosive, so you do not want the Ravens to eat up the clock and reduce the number of drives that you have and get to the end of this game being close more quickly than they anticipate. So I think their ability to be able to load up and stop the run and force them to use Snoop Huntley, or I assume will be the quarterback, maybe Lamar Jackson, but force them to attack through the air and not hold on to the ball and not shorten this game, I think will decide whether the Steelers can hang in there or not.
Henry had 36 carries last week and 4 touchdowns in their much-needed win against the Packers. The only reason this game matters for Baltimore. And then on the other side, Pittsburgh will be playing without its most important offensive weapon again because of the 2-game suspension.
And that's the biggest storyline in this game. You think about the last matchup against the Baltimore Ravens, DK Metcalf, 7 catches, 148 yards. Them not having him, they lose the explosive part of their offense. So to Nick's point, they get down too many points. They just don't have enough. Also, Darnell Washington, the tight end, who has been so important for them for this season, won't be playing in the game as well.
They've sort of been limited on offense for much of the year, and an impressive job that Arthur Smith, their offensive coordinator, has done sort of building the thing out of the running backs and the tight ends. But DK Metcalf, even in games where he was not hyper-productive, was an important piece for them on the field. And to not have him, I think it absolutely showed up against the Browns on Sunday, and I think it absolutely shows up against the Ravens this Sunday night.
And the questions around Pittsburgh will be interesting. Dominique, if the Steelers lose this game, do we think it will be Aaron Rodgers' last NFL game? Oof. And do we think it is possible that it is Mike Tomlin's last game as the coach of the Steelers?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Tomlin thing is unlikely, but I do think that the Aaron Rodgers, it feels like at this point, the way that he played this season was kind of, it felt like just holding things together and trying to avoid contact. I don't imagine that there's a long line of teams out there wanting to sign up for this Aaron Rodgers experience, and maybe he's not interested in playing going forward. But the Mike Tomlin decision is a lot more, I think, interesting and up in the air, but I think we know based on the Steelers' history, it's going to take a lot for them to move on from their coach, and I expect Mike Tomlin to be back also.
Yeah, go ahead, Dan. Final word.
I expect the same thing. Yeah. I think ultimately there could come a time when Mike Tomlin and the Steelers decide it's time to part ways.
Right.
But to predict that it'll be next week, I think feels like a lot.
Probably not.